What's up, everybody? I'm Jackson.
And I'm Kenny.
And we are
JK Builders. Today we're doing a speed build and review of the Lego Creator Roller Coaster. Jackson, why don't you break down the box for us?
Okay, well, it's 16 plus the item number is 10261. It's 4,124 pieces.
Sweet. So, huge set. This one, I had heard rumors that they're going to be retiring it this year, so I ordered it just a couple of weeks ago. I had I had VIP points that I use, so I got it for cheaper than it was. I believe it retails for $379.99. But super cool set, tons of little details, lots of fun that we will get into in a second. But let's check out the box a little bit more in depth. So over here, it shows you all the different little minifigures that it comes with. I don't think it tells you specifically what the minifigures are, but it does come with, what did we say, 9?
I think it was 11.
11 minifigures, something like that. I guess it breaks it down over here on the side, so you see the minifigures over there. You just have a host of people that would be at an amusement park or at a roller coaster. So you have people that work there, you have people selling concessions, you have tourists, you have kids, all kinds of stuff. On the back, it just shows you some of the minifigures in the act. So you have people buying cotton candy, people getting on the roller coaster, people measuring up seeing if they're tall enough to ride on the roller coaster. Some people buy a mat. Just lots of cool little details that you'd see in an amusement park you will find in this set. And then it shows you a little bit the mechanical workings of the roller coaster. And also down here, it shows you the two parts that you need in order to make it actually motorized, so that you don't have to turn the crank to make the roller coaster go. It can go by a motor. So that's something I do intend to look into and purchase. Here are the instruction books. There are 2 of them, part 1 and part 2. They all cover basically one half of the build. I think part 2 was a little bit larger, a little bit more pieces involved, but both are pretty close to the same. Yeah, you can see number 2 is definitely bigger. Tons of parts, tons of little parts. When you initially look at the set, it's like, how is it 4,000 something pieces? But it definitely is. You feel every single one of those pieces. It took us like 3 days to build this one.
Yeah.
Several hours. So it was a pretty intense build, which we'll get into when we go over the set itself. But there's the instruction book. They are quite long. This one, part 2, is like 240 pages. Part 1 is like 180 pages. So there you go. There's the instruction books. All right, now we're going to check out the building of the set in our speed build. So check it out, and we'll see you in just a second. Okay, so here it is, the Lego Creator roller coaster. We just moved it from our living room in here to the studio. So let's talk about all the details. This is a huge set. It is actually quite a bit larger than I anticipated it being, but super fun to build, super fun to play with. Definitely a huge play set. So let's start over here. So they give you lots of different items to make it feel like it's an actual amusement park, I think. So over here you have like a little cotton candy stand with a few little minifigs. The cotton candy stand has an actual cotton candy maker with some cotton candy. Has a little umbrella over the top, and then it has an employee that works there. Over here in the corner you got a tree. So yeah, you got the little ticket booth where you can buy tickets. It doubles as the photo station where you pick up your photos. Here you have a little fountain of some sort with lots of little plants and trees and stuff growing around it. Got a tree over here.
Got a little gate.
Over here you have a juice bar where you can stop and buy you some juice as a snack after you ride the roller coaster. It has an employee inside as well. Okay, so now you get a good view of the photo station on the other side of the ticket booth where you can stop and buy your picture from on the roller coaster. You have the platform, so there's a couple stairways that go up to the platform. You got one there and one over here on this side, complete with railing. The platform leads up to the entrance to board the roller coaster. And the spot where you board the roller coaster itself has a little overhang. You got a little seagull perched on top. Nice little awning. Over here you have the control panel where the employee runs the controls of the roller coaster. It's complete with a little bar to tell if you're tall enough to ride the coaster. In line you see the
Little gate.
here you see the boarding gate at the front of the line. These gates do open and close so that the passengers can board. There you can see that minifig is really scared to get on the roller coaster. She's quite nervous. Here you see the roller coaster itself has 3 cars, complete with minifigures. And then it has a second set of cars as well that you can actually pull out and onto the track, like so, if you'd like. We will display that in just a second. Up here, you have the words coaster written out in tiled Lego. I thought that was super cool, fun to build. Nice little detail. It says coaster. Really cool how they designed those letters and put them together. On the top of the roller coaster, you have some flags. At the top of the lift hill, it says do not stand up. Another flag over here. Way down the main hill, there is a camera that will take your picture as you go down that initial hill. On the other side, they do have the chain lift that lifts you to the top of the roller coaster. You come around the curve, and then you make a couple of times around the track and back to the station. So super cool, super fun, lots of little details. It was a fun set to build. It took me about 3 days to build this one. You do have a little bit of fencing over there as well that we missed. A couple little tables or something right there in the pathway. Oh yeah, over here on this side, you got another plant. You have this little pond, like a little marshy area with some weeds growing and a frog right there. One kind of fun little detail was down there inside, you see someone lost their hat. So they put a little hat right there hidden on the inside of the coaster track. So there it is, there's an overview. Now let's kind of show you how it works. All right, so at the front of the coaster, there are a few little levers and they do different things. So after the patrons board the coaster, Jackson, go ahead and turn the dial. The initial dial launches them.
And push that in.
It's a little bit temperamental sometimes. Yeah. So the initial lever on the left is to stop the coaster. So when it comes in for at the end of the ride, this will stop it. If you push it in, it will just keep on going around the track. So we'll keep that out to stop it when it comes back. The second dial is the launching dial. So you turn that to launch it, and the third dial is to pull it up the lift hill, connects to the chain. So go ahead and launch it.
Stop.
Oh, there we go. So it goes up the lift hill, all the way to the top. Then it has these little tire spinners that continue it along the way to the top of the hill, and it goes down and back to the station. Super cool. As I mentioned before, there is a second car, and you just pull it out like this. So you can't actually have 2 cars on the track. Let's go ahead and see if we can demonstrate that. We'll get this one on the lift hill. Jackson, if you can start cranking that up. And then we'll pull the second car around. There you go. So now we will have 2 cars going at once. There's the first, there's the second, and then they can keep on going. Check that out. Oh, we had a derailment again. This one has a malfunctioning part, I believe. So one thing I was explaining to Jackson, as is the case with actual roller coasters, they have to be inspected every day to make sure all the parts fit properly and that there's no wear and tear. I think you have to do the same with this one. There's going to be some maintenance required to make sure that it is not coming apart. I mean, there are lots and lots of moving pieces in this, so it's understandable that some of the parts and pieces may start to pull apart over time. So you just have to inspect it and make sure it's good to go.
And how you make sure it's still going is just by that.
Just testing it out and making sure it all works properly. But sometimes these pieces do have a tendency to kind of pop up off of all of these support pieces. So it's good to just kind of go around, make sure they're all secure, especially here on the lift hill. Every now and then. All right, so as far as pros and cons go, it looks amazing. It's super awesome. It looks cool. It's a lot of fun to play with. For the most part, it was fun to build. It was really fun to just kind of see it all come together, you know, bit by bit, piece by piece, seeing it take shape and turn into the roller coaster that it is. I really love all the details. I love the minifigs that it comes with. The details like the hat, the little pond, the trees, the different kiosks that are included, the actual line and gate for the roller coaster itself. Super cool. Just lots of little fun little features. The camera on the lift on the first initial hill. The way that they did the mechanics of the lift hill itself is very cool. This was 203 tiny little pieces that we had to clip together. Took quite a long time.
But we did rows of 20. So
yeah, we did rows of 20 so we could keep track rather than just counting to 203. We did rows of 20. The last one I put 3 additional on, and then we linked them all together. It was a little bit tricky running it through the whole system. I did it wrong the first time, so these wheels ended up turning backwards, and I couldn't figure it out. I was racking my brain. Finally, I noticed that I didn't thread it through in the right spot. So if you build this set, just be super careful that you're following the directions and getting everything just right. Otherwise, it's not going to work properly. The things that I don't like about it, number one, I've built a lot of Lego in my life, like quite a lot, and I've never had a set do the number to my fingers that this set did to my hands. It was painful. My fingertips are bruised. And I think it's just the type of pieces that it uses over and over and over again, just did a number on my fingers. So that wasn't fun. The other was just the repetitiveness. There is a lot of repetitive building because you're just building tons and tons of these towers and support beams over and over and over again. It's quite repetitive. So it did get kind of old building those same pieces and parts so many different times. But other than that, there's not a whole lot I have to say negative about it. I guess the fact that it is a little bit temperamental, like I was saying before, sometimes pieces can kind of pop out of place just because there are so many moving parts. It's kind of to be expected, but it's kind of annoying at the same time. But it's not the end of the world. Jackson, what are some things you like about this set?
Well, I really love how it moves. Just how it moves like a roller coaster, like with the chains and all of that.
Yeah, we finished it this morning. Jackson's been playing with it most of the day, so.
Yeah. And I love, it's really cool how they made, it spelled coaster on the coaster.
Yeah, I thought so, coaster. Yeah.
But I love how it looks, I mean, I've been on many roller coasters, so I haven't seen them just like this, but it looks kind of like one. I think it looks really, really cool. So, and my cons are, I don't like how, like, these pieces keep popping off.
Yeah, you've had a problem with the pieces on the lift hill popping off, and then it causes the train to derail from the track, as we saw a second ago.
Yeah, I think that's my only con.
Yeah, I think another thing, maybe they could have added a few more minifigures. Obviously, we just pull minifigures from our collection and have them enjoy the amusement park and the roller coaster, but
Like-
I feel like there does need to be more minifigures throughout the roller coaster.
Like with this big of a set, there needs to be like over 21 minifigures.
Yeah, you would kind of think there'd be a few more, just because they are the generic minifigures. They're not anything special. This isn't like a licensed set or anything like that. So I feel like they could have thrown in a few more generic minifigures just to kind of fill it in a little bit better. I mean, right now we have 3 on the coaster. We have 3 over there by that. We have 1 in each kiosk. And only 2 in the line. So at an amusement park like this, you'd expect to have several in the line and several out, kind of enjoying the grounds and doing different things. So, but like I said, it's not a huge deal, especially because they are generic, and we could just pull minifigures from our collection of random minifigures, and they could kind of enjoy the park as well. So, like I said, this one does retail for $379. They are rumoring to be retiring this set this year. That's a major reason why I decided to go ahead and jump on it. That, and I had some VIP points that I wanted to use. Definitely glad that I bought it. The biggest problem we have now is where are we going to put it? I literally don't have a spot for it, so I don't know where it's going to go. We do have plans to one day build a Lego room in the basement of our home. Where we will line the walls with shelves and have different display features, maybe even a city, but we're not there yet. So until then, I'm not sure where we're gonna put this, but we'll have to find a spot. It is very large, so make sure that if you're going to get this set, that you plan ahead and have a spot that you're gonna put it, because we don't. I do think it's worth the money. As far as if I'm giving it a rating, I'm probably giving it a 9.4 out of 10. It's really cool set. Definitely one I'd highly recommend, but it did take a toll on my fingers. It is very repetitive, but outside of that, it's very cool.
I am gonna give it a 9.6. I really love this set. I think it was really cool how it moves. I think the track, how it goes along with the track, it's really cool. So yeah.
9.6. So 9.6 out of him, 9.4 out of me. We definitely recommend it. All right, so there it is, the Lego Creator Roller Coaster. Do you have it? Do you want it? What do you think of it? Comment down below. As always, like and subscribe. And until next time, keep on building.